Hello everybody, this is Kimchi Crypto. Today I'm going to raise a question. Did you buy the dip enough during a recent tension between Israel and Iran? Let's dive in. Israel's war on Gaza live. Israel fired over 300 drones and missiles at Israel. And Israel says more than 300 drones and missiles launched at it from Iran, Iraq, and Yemen, adding that the vast majority of them have been intercepted. Iran says it carried out the attack in response to an Israeli raid on the Iranian consulate in Syria on April 1st and says the matter can now be deemed concluded. Do you know what happens to stocks during war like this? The outbreak or anticipation of war can lead to a sharp sell-off in stocks as well as in bitcoins and crypto assets. At the same time, investors may move towards traditionally safer assets like gold, US bonds, or currencies perceived as safe havens, which is US dollar. When these types of things happen, people usually panic. So, were you scared off during for the last several days, or did you buy the dip? Historically speaking, during warfares and terrors like this, similar patterns repeated again and again in the asset markets. Let's take a look at this. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. In the early 20th century, the World War I broke out. For sure, at first, the US stock market tumbled, and it lasted for several years. But after this World War I ended, the Dow Jones was up 504%. And the several years later, the World War II broke out. For sure, at first, the US stock market tumbled again, and it could not be recovered for several years. But after this war ended, Dow Jones was up 523%, which is a lot. And several years later, the Vietnam War broke out. It lasted for a bit long period of time, in the middle of 1960s to the late 70s. During this war period, the U.S. stock market was not recovered, but after this Vietnam War ended, the Dow Jones was up 1,447%, and then the terror, 9/11 terror, it just broke out. For sure, at first, stock market went down a lot, but it was recovered a few months later. So after war ended, U.S. stock market price rose up dramatically. Same type of this pattern were repeated again and again. Not only those warfares, but in the Vietnam War, if you bought the first invasion, you must have had a huge gains. In Gulf War, same thing goes here. If you bought the first invasion, you must have earned a lot of money. What about in Afghanistan War? If you've bought the first invasion, the US S&P 500, it went up a little bit, but it fell down dramatically. What had happened here? It's type of an exception here because it was the where when the dot-com bubble burst from like early 2000s by the October 2002. It's type of a bit of an exception here. But what about Iraq War? When you if you bought the first invasion, you must have made a huge amount of money. And if you bought the first invasion at the Crimean crisis, you must have earned a lot of money here as well. S&P 500 response to geopolitical events in the history. Attack on Pearl Harbor, Iraq invasion, North Korea invades South Korea, and so forth. And for sure, at first, this type of thing happens. The US stock market, it just fell down dramatically. But without any exceptions, the market has recovered. For sure, how long did it take for the market to be fully recovered? It depends. It depended, from several days to several months. But every single time the market recovered. So the success is, especially in the crypto investments, you need to buy low and you have to sell high. This is the commandment. So in any geopolitical crisis like wars and terrors, any economic huge recessions, this is the time when you need to be brave. You need to buy the low. So if Israel happens to attack Iran again, you know what to do, right? If you have to choose between the two, it's a last, comment. If you have to choose between the two, be there to be an optimist, not a pessimist. Because being an optimist usually increases the odds of your success. What's your thoughts? Thank you for listening.